Sarah's night.
And Atlantis, on the eve before you're about to head out to Houston. And
because I have to do a certain prerequisite again that is now my third time doing it to keep in the running for being invited to immigrate to Canada. So I was like, hey, on my way to Houston, you're not exactly out of the way. Why don't I just stop by and do some Skies of Arcadia?
And here we are.
Okay, now I believe I have to go back to base right now because it's kind of gotten to that point where before every new mission, so to speak, you gotta go back to base and discuss the next move. But would you mind going ahead and looking up on your phone after the yellow column fight, because that was the last thing we did?
Skies of Arcadia walkthrough. Skies of Arcadia walkthrough. The one with the star. Let's see. So let's see. Grand Fortress.
Did you say Grand Fortress?
Before Esperanza. Esperanza Dark Rift. Kazai Euphotoma. After Euphotoma, Crescent Island. Clearing Your Name. Ruins of Ice. Crescent Island.
Ooh!
Yeah, we're past
Above in the Beyond Clouds. Dangrel Island. What was the name of the place that that dungeon?
I think it was actually like Tartarus. Like, I think that's the term from the Bible where like demons who aren't allowed to roam the earth right now are kept.
Because I cannot seem to find where we were.
Well, in any event, I think they're going to tell us now. Because when I got back to the island, cutscene happened.
So we're definitely at one of the several times this walkthrough mentions going to Crescent Island.
Yeah.
Have we been to the Vortex?
No. I think that's where we like go so deep, closer to like fallen Earth. And
oh, there it is. Maw of Tartus.
Yeah, Tartus.
And apparently next is going to be Dangrel Island.
I think that's where the Empire base I was talking about earlier. I know we had to go there at some point. Where you find Gregorio again.
Yeah. Did we do a ship battle with Yelagar?
Yeah, isn't that the yellow golem? Sounds like it is.
Yeah, I guess so. Yelagar is the...
Yeah, that's like the very last thing we just now did.
Okay, cool. Then I found where we are in the walkthrough. It's all good, guys.
I still want to know how Fina's little bitty ship that you see around the beginning of the game was able to like make it safely through the skies, the altitude, the pressure never... Because she's like, this is way above where even our ship could climb right now, where she comes from.
That's true. Alright, so yeah, you're going northeast of the Shrine Island in Lower Sky, and you will find Dangrel Island.
The great silver shrine is high above the clouds where no ship can reach it. I plan to take the moon crystals back to the great silver shrine.
By the
I
way,
can imagine Fina sounding like Iris from Mega Man X4 with that weird Southern Bellish voice.
By the way, if you're out there, let's playing and stuff, good on you. I'm glad you're doing it. If you voice act your dialogue in your games,
Bad on
stop
you.
it. No one wants to hear that.
Isn't that what like Gunarm Dine used to do?
Still,
Like,
it still does. I mean, that's kind of like
when
his.
was the last time you talked to him?
Well, I mean, actually, it wasn't. I talked to him on Twitch not too long. Well, I guess it was like a year ago, because he does stuff for like GDQ and whatever. But I mean, Gunarm's dying thing is kind of like voice acting, like he's aspiring to voice act. So I guess that would be a caveat because like you're doing that to try to advance something, I guess. But look, yo, if you're just doing a let's play, how about just fucking talk? Have a conversation with your peeps. Don't just read the dialogue. We can read the dialogue. It's on the screen. We can see it.
Ah, Galcian's burrito robe.
Burrito robe.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, sure enough, they're talking about Dangrel Island. And De Loco again. So I think it's after, excuse me.
How dare you?
After we do whatever we were doing at Dangrel Island, then we have, like, we're able to, like, dig so deep close to fallen Earth where we actually have to find Fina's old ship that got shot down at the beginning of the game so that we can then reach all the way up to the Great Silver Shrine to return the moon crystals to the Elders. And at that point, while we're down below on Old Earth, is when we fight De Loco again. And we leave him to die in a shipwreck in the, like, darkest depths of the planet right now. Because technically the whole planet is up in Arcadia.
Oh no.
Because De Loco is a horrible person. I kind of felt sorry for the other soldiers who were on his ship, though. Because I'm sure they were just, you know, dudes just doing their job.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we shoot down that ship and it ain't coming back this time, unlike the other times.
He sure is wrapped up like a burrito, though. Like...
Galcian's like, do you question my orders? Do you waver on your loyalty? Ramirez. That was the name of Sean Connery's character from the Highlander movies.
The Ramirez, Yep.
Sean Connery, like, plays... well, what turned out to be an alien from another planet called Size.
Right, but let's
And
why
he's
does
got
that
a-
have to be a thing?
He's got a Spanish name, and at one point he, like, lived in Egypt, so technically he's Egyptian, at least in some way or another, during the... something like that. And where he found Connor McLeod and started training him, you know, like telling him about his immortal Highlander origins and everything, that was in Scotland. So it's got like a little bit of every nationality you can think of.
Yeah.
Alien, Hispanic, Egyptian, Scotsman.
A filthy Scot.
You know, I think one of the worst things about Highlander 2: The Quickening was actually not the... No, that was Highlander 5.
I know.
You just had to
Yeah.
get that in there.
Yep, I did.
Like, one of the worst individual moments of that movie, not the overall arcing story here, where it turns out immortals are not even Earthlings who just happen to have, like, a special ability to where you can only die by being by decapitation, but they turn out to be aliens from the planet Zionist.
And that's so dumb.
But I think, like, the worst just individual thing in that movie is the moment where when Connor McLeod is having sex with a woman he barely knows, like, during the quickening from having just killed those two other aliens that were sent down by General Katana to kill Connor McLeod for some reason or another, even though Connor McLeod was not immortal at the time, but he gets his immortality back
You're right.
by beating those two immortals that Katana sent, and then he decides to have sex with that woman who was with him that he knew for like 3 minutes of screen time. During the orgasm, I think, that's what it sounds like, he calls out Ramirez's name, and somehow that brings Ramirez back from the dead.
So stupid.
And it's like, the fact that you're calling out a dude's name, for one thing, in a sex scene that was already inappropriate, and that actually, like, brings him back from the dead. Ramirez! Like, yeah, I did the motion like you're... And I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to what Bill was saying. What did he say? I guess we go to Dan.
Yes, we go to Dangrel Island. If you go northeast of Shrine Island in Lower Sky, you will find it. It's my new controller, by the way. How you like the buttons? They feel clicky?
No, they do not. I also like the neon lightage you got.
I wish I
going
could
on
turn
here.
that off. It is very bright and annoying.
Alright. Alright? Alright. What was that?
Yeah,
What other word?
right?
What other word was I thinking of saying at the same time as alright? I don't know. All that?
All that.
You know, I just like, there was one time in 7th or 8th grade, just in the middle of class. I know it was while I was at Rogers Middle School, before I came to the West Side. I just started singing like out loud. I don't know what overdose of. Oh, this is all. And after I got to the end of "This Is All That," like that first line, everybody's like, "Shut up!" I don't know why I started singing it. I really don't.
Don't need a reason. It's fine.
Like in the middle of work, you know, quiet time. Alright, where are we at now? Oh! We're about right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Let
Just
us
need to go to
lower
the deep
ourselves.
sky.
In fact, here it is right here.
Yep, there it is.
My fellow Americans. Oh yeah, this is where Galcian first announces his defection from Empress Theodora. He's like, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, strike out on my own. And Alfonso's like, you dare betray the Empress? Well,
I dare.
Galcian's like, well, you're free to leave if you want to stick with her. And he actually lets Alfonso do it. Like, he doesn't, like, stab him in the back as he's leaving in the room, which is what you'd expect a bad guy like Galcian to do.
I do like that not everybody just blindly followed him, too. Like, the fact that...
Yeah, I gotta admit, this is, like, one time in the game where Alfonso shows balls. You know?
Look at that face! Look at that face!
What's wrong with your face? Yeah, you could probably do it too, Alfonso. I haven't seen your prowess in battle yet.
No! No!
Well, never mind what I said about Alfonso showing some balls.
Yeah, well, that dude's a piece of shit anyways.
What is with the Loco's, like, bubble helmet?
I don't understand why it has, like, eyes and a mouth.
Yeah, can he not breathe, like, normal air? Gregorio's like, well, if I find your intentions noble, then I will stick with you. Honorable. Not necessarily noble.
I like how he's not gonna tell him his plan. And he'd be like, I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I want, but I still want you to follow me. Be like, yeah, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense in the game world, but I'm sure that was for the player.
You're right, yeah.
You know, don't want to keep the player in suspense, so to speak. But it all amounts to, I think somebody needs to be in charge of the planet, and I'm the guy to do it.
Me. What a thrill.
I mean, this isn't like the worst dungeon music in the world, though, to
It's
kind
not.
of lame.
Kind of like the piano part. Almost sounds like something that'd be in a Metroidvania, like Castlevania.
I like how they're gonna leave like the room that controls like power supply to the whole entire base. They're gonna leave that unguarded.
I mean,
I guess they don't expect anybody else to be able to, have a ship that can fly down here, but surely they expect advice and crew might come along and mess things up. Oh, there's somebody you're talking to. Is this guy pointing down a plot hole? Oh. Well, you do find a lot of crashed ships down there. That's where they all go.
yeah, I guess that would be true. There'd be a lot of stuff.
And I'm pretty sure the people aboard are dead. Because they crashed a long distance in an unsurvivable
Atmosphere.
We cleared it. That is the serpent. Okay, well, let's try north first, or east. North where I'm facing, east on the map. Can nobody hear like 4 fully grown adults like tromping around in the ducks?
I mean, why would they assume? Oh, yeah, it is the ducks. Why would anybody be in the ducks? Isn't it weird that duct tape was just specifically designed for ducks? Like,
It was.
yeah, that's what duct tape was designed for, was to keep ducks together.
Well, we found all sorts of uses for it.
Yeah,
You made a book bag out of it once.
I made a digital watch out of it once. I mean, I took like the digital mechanics out of a watch and then made a watch.
Yeah, I was about to
face.
say, you didn't literally like create the time function and
Yeah,
everything
but
you with
it's-
duct tape.
But that book bag was pretty dope, man. I carried that to college for a long time. And what was great is like, yeah, it would get holes every now and then. But there was a real easy solution.
Duct tape. Yeah, I was right. This room is completely unguarded.
I really wonder what happened to that book bag.
Don't know.
I don't. I think I lost it in a movie.
Here goes! Over there!
That's probably the first time Ica's Boomerang has done anything substantial whatsoever.
An utter victory.
An utter victory. Alright, so let's retrace our steps to that fan that we shut down, and nobody notices we're not getting any airflow anywhere. I don't hear an alarm going off or anything. You know, that really looked like something we could just easily step through, even when it was running. 'Cause it was,
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
it was not running fast whatsoever.
in fact, you could have like walked through it standing up and probably made it just fine, or you could just belly crawled under it and taken your time. Either way, it wasn't a threat.
Okay, we got some choices here.
Yeah, do you remember which ones had the chests in them?
Well, I can try to remember the layout of the air ducts that will for random battle. That's kind of a big guy.
Ah, that was rap.
But I don't remember it, so can't go by that. Huh?
This dude's got a little bit of HP for a random encounter.
Well, it is a giant tank.
I mean, fair.
Well, not really giant. That's probably actually kind of small for a tank considering it's nice, but it's a big hunk of metal. You shouldn't be able to cut through all that easily if you can, you know, think of it as having a certain amount of HP.
Also, that should have killed you. Kind of like in Final Fantasy VII. When you,
That's immediately what I started thinking.
someone
of.
just comes up.
4 points of damage. Okay, are you literally like wearing the bronze armband or what? What is the name of the armor that they call it like this? Because it's just like one piece armor. You don't do like hell on his body armor.
Right. You just wear like an armlet. It's an accessory.
Wasn't that it? Just like armlet?
I think most of them seem to be designed after armlets, but it goes in an accessory slot. So
Yeah.
you have a weapon and an accessory. Isn't that really weird when you think about it? That was the first Final Fantasy where you didn't have armor.
Yeah, your equipment was overly simplified.
And
somehow it's like I didn't even notice that the game was so fantastic. I couldn't even think about is this like better or worse than before?
right?
I just didn't even.
I don't think I've ever acknowledged that till just now.
That was
You don't.
easy.
In every other Final Fantasy beforehand, you can have a weapon in your hand, and then you have an offhand, which if you have certain job classes, whatever, you can put another weapon or a shield or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have your helmet, you have your chest piece, and then an accessory. And they just ripped out all of that except for a weapon and accessory. It's crazy.
I guess that bronze armlet that you start out with. That's the lowest level armor in the game. Is that? It just makes me think for a machine gun volley to do that little damage to you, to hurt that little, it must be like 3-inch bronze covering your entire body to where you couldn't even really walk around in that easily. Certainly not run out of an exploding reactor and set the bomb off. Someone set us up with the bomb.
That is crazy. I guess the reason it felt more complicated than it was because in all the other Final Fantasies, like an accessory would just like bump a stat, and that was it, right? But in Final Fantasy VII, your weapon and your accessory dictated your slots for all your magic spells, and that gave it a bunch of complexity.
So drama.
Yeah.
Did you mean armor?
What do you mean?
Weapons and armor? Because the accessory, but that has nothing to do with materia slots.
In 7?
Yeah.
Oh.
Unless I am somehow remembering this wrong.
No, you're
I'm pretty
right.
sure it was
You're
weapons
right.
that aren't like.
It's been a long
Yeah,
time.
materia slots, kind of made the whole system overall a lot more complicated.
It
But
wasn't.
in a good way. Materia's awesome.
It wasn't even that complicated because you can only do combinations of 2 materia, right? Like, it's not like that complicated, right? I have this Ultima, now I have Quad Cast. I cast it 4 times. Like, that's pretty simple stuff.
I like how a poison gas cloud does literally hundreds of times more damage than a machine gun volley if you compare it. The poison gas, they just throw at us. that does like 700, 800 points of damage to everybody. Machine gun in the first dungeon of Final Fantasy 7.
Yep. It never bugged me though. Like my ability to suspend disbelief is really high.
That was something I noticed like right away. Like, okay, something doesn't feel right here.
Forward.
At least on that hard version, like we went through that. Like, just tried to go through like as much as we could before game over. Or before I'd run into like a serious problem. We got all the way to like the last boss before you get out of Maker, and there's nothing in here.
You remember?
And I remember it was like when you first in the first dungeon with the MPs with the machine guns, it actually did like almost 10 times as much damage, like 30 to 40.
Out of your like what 200? Like how much HP do you?
300.
300. Yeah.
So I was like 10 of those. Yeah, that does actually make it significantly more difficult. That's a lot more believable.
One day we will play Final Heaven, and we'll get all the hard mods shit in there, and we'll see what's up.
Yeah. Where is Enrique at on his blue magic? Oh, he's only learned 4. What a loser. Take this, you cur.
Where'd your map go?
Yes. Oh, I pressed start thinking it was me. That takes off the...
Let's not take that off because there was a demo for
About friggin' time. Now what?
There was a demo for the Final Fantasy VII remake, but I've elected to not play it so that my virgin experience with the game will be on the full release.
So it's actually not coming out on Steam? At least not right now.
I think people are assuming it's a timed release for PlayStation, so it'll be on PS4 initially, and eventually it'll come to Steam. I'll just get it on PS4, and then it'll eventually hit Steam, and then inevitably it'll eventually hit a Steam sale, and I'll just...
Yeah, I gotta admit, those soldiers are probably a lot more like on the table. Normally you have to actually like go into a room, even when you see them up front, you actually have to go up and like talk to them for like, oh, hey, intruder! Intruder alert! It's like you open the door, they see you, they attack. Because you're not supposed to be here. You are not wearing the balloon insignia.
Well, I mean, there are 4 men right here. How about we not kill them and take their clothes? Wow. That man is dead.
It's like a poison gas grenade or something. There's like force behind it that doesn't poison you. So otherwise I don't see why it would do that much damage.
Yeah, like, they go, and they fly on their ass. Sorry for the cough.
Oh my gosh, dude. That reminds me. The other night, I learned something horrible about alcohol. I don't know what it was I said. Something about somebody doing something clueless. Or maybe how I can't be expected to know this considering I'm in the lab the whole time going around the plant. Something like that.
Yep.
Thomas in the nearby room, he's in there with me. Like, well, you never got... You gotta wonder, like, how some of these guys who work outside the lab get away with, I mean, they can work here for this long, and all the stupid crap they say, which is just like totally brainless.
Right.
I'm like, such as? He goes, dude, did you never hear of such and such? And he was like he had to have been in some kind of upper management kind of position because he was actually leading a tour of customers around once. And he said what happened was he was leading them around the plant, right? At one point, I don't know if it was inside a room or outside on the ground. Either way, in any place, you don't, especially in a chemical plant, you don't want to really touch anything that's on the ground.
Get this grape off that ground.
This is like a... Oh, yeah, alright.
Sorry.
Just never remember that. Oh.
Uh-oh. Was there not another...
There was like a third door this way.
Yeah, right there.
This was it. It was like these guys who were with him, who was giving a tour of the plant to, they were like, hey, what's that on the ground right there? They were probably trying to point out like a possible environmental hazard of some sort.
Okay.
Well, considering the kind of, I mean, you don't do this in general. This is like a basic human survival instinct, I think, that's built in.
Yeah.
Unless you are literally, like, clinically mentally retarded. And I'm not saying that as a joke. Like, that is the only excuse I can think of to possibly... This dude goes, because he had been there for so long, by sheer, like, you know, sight, smell, whatever, just, and I guess knowing the general area they were in, that this would be a common substance you might find, he goes, I'll bet that's... He leans down, he not only touches it with his bare finger, no gloves, no hand protection whatsoever, tastes it off his finger, he goes, yep, that's sodium hydroxide. I was like, surely he got fired before he could get somebody killed. That's like one thing you just can't get away with.
You would think.
And yeah, he did. And Thomas was like, oh yeah, he was gone. But that just goes to show you, that's like,
There's some stupid...
don't feel, I was like, I will never feel bad about any mistake I make in here, because at least it just has to do with maybe just my mind being somewhere else in the moment. But I don't see how you could just feel any urge, desire, even like if you have to think quickly. Like, this isn't a, you know, oh, I just didn't have time to think about it, caught in the moment kind of thing.
Was it a joke? Was he being funny? Or he thought he was being cute?
I don't know, but either way, don't put anything, even if you know what it is, especially even if it's like potable water, you wouldn't want to take that anywhere except the only way you would ever want to put any liquid you find around Albemarle in your mouth is if it comes out of the water cooler in a break room. Or something in a bottle in a fridge, which is clearly a consumable food of some sort.
Not so potent.
Something
potable.
that's not only on the ground, but you also know it's a chemical. That it's not like just rainwater or something. It's just like, I was thinking like AVGN. Why would you do that?
Why?
Oh, yeah, see, knows we're here. Just dispose of them. Or at least that's how I
Immediately.
Oh.
We got the schematics.
That's how we're going to equip our ship to go down into deep space or deep earth, whatever it's called.
Deeper earth, deep sky.
And Halcyon just let us take it.
Yep, bye.
Actually, there was nobody guarding that at all.
Why would there be anybody guarding it? Who else is going to get down here?
Shut up. Anyway. this is not something that requires any kind of
I get
education. Certainly not college level education. That's just like a real basic instinct you have not to do that unless
Well,
you're literally like a 2-year-old.
There's been, well, you gotta understand, we are a stupid race. Like, there has been a push to teach people that they need to wash their hands as this virus outbreak is continuing. Like,
I still see people like when I'm in a public bathroom, when I'm on the road a lot more than you, right?
correct.
And like, so I've probably been in a lot more public areas like that.
Yep.
Dude, every now and then, I'll be washing my hands at the sink in the mirror. I hear a door open and close in the mirror. I see somebody walk from the direction of the stalls, past me and out the friggin' room. That's gross. You were not only urinating, touching your dick. I assume because you were in the stall, you were doing something even more. Your hands were basically like between your fist and your ass.
Your ass.
Your filthy, dirty ass. Because of what you're obviously doing at the moment. Is a few layers of thin, very thin fabric. And you don't wash your hands. That is disgusting. You honestly can't wait 10 more seconds for me to get done and come in and wash your hands behind me. How do you not even if, let's say somehow, I'm sure tests have been done on this, bacterial swabs of various things to see how they compare between things that are classically in human minds, dirty things to touch. I have heard technically in a lot of instances, you're actually going to find more germs on paper money than a toilet. I can actually kind of see that as much as it passes hands. Paper money does.
Correct.
Let's say they somehow found out that something that people don't normally think of as dirty, wouldn't think to wash their hands after. Let's go ahead and say passing paper money around. Let's say you'll actually find less germs in your rectum.
Okay.
Then, even so, why would you? So technically, if you wanted to get real scientific and technical, you could argue, well, people don't normally wash their hands after this, so why do I fit? And that literally has more bacteria on it than my ass, so why should I wash my? How do you not just feel gross after doing that, to where you just don't feel compelled to wash your hands anyway?
So, do you remember that one time? It was many years ago.
Applebee's? Your
Wow.
boss?
No, not my boss. Not my boss. But somebody I worked with, because you came out and you'd be like, because you noticed this man.
Yeah, the dude walked behind me. I mean, mirror's right there. I can't not notice.
Yeah, so you saw him and you pointed him out. I'm like, oh, I work with him. And you're like,
I really hope you never shook his hand before. When you first, maybe, even if you don't work in the same department necessarily, you still might meet a lot of people from around the plant when you first start working there, that kind of thing. And the common thing is, oh, hey, glad to have you aboard, handshake. I hope you never shook that dude's hand.
I probably did shake his hand, but I can promise you after that point, I have not.
Good.
Nice mace.
Gregorio. I love the honorable warrior type who's still serving the bad guys, because he just feels like, I'm either stuck or I just feel like I can't betray them because of something they did for me. It's dishonorable, what is it? Lawful evil, maybe, I guess.
Potentially.
I tend to like figures like that in RPGs and other types of fiction.
Yeah, I think lawful evil.
Oh, yeah, and Gregorio's like, oh, I'm not here to fight you. I'm turning against Orgalcium because he's a dick. The honorable thing I think to do here is to actually defend you, even though I fought you before.
Look at that. Look at that maul. Look at that mace. That's a pretty nice weapon.
You disappoint me, Gregorio. Well, honestly, you should have been able to kind of know that already. Figure that
Well,
out for
I mean,
yourself.
you
The whole
mentioned it, like...
world domination thing. I guess he finds Galcian is taking a more extreme path here. That it's like, oh, that's my breaking point.
I like how he believes he's going to die here. Like,
did he just like hit us with the maul to strike us
No,
further out of the
it's just-
room?
I
I was
don't
like,
think-
what if that accidentally killed us?
I think he in Dungeons and Dragons you can hit somebody, but you can specifically specify that you want to do a non-lethal strike when you strike somebody, and if you were to drain all their HP in that attack because you specified it wasn't meant to be a lethal strike, it does not lethally kill whatever you reduce their HP to 0. So maybe he did something similar just then.
Okay. I like how Gregorio looks kind of sad here, like, you know I'm never going to see you again after, like, in about 3 minutes. I'm going to die. But I shall die a hero! Honestly, why can't you all just run away?
Is it the first time someone actually referred to Vise as Captain Vise, like in full title?
I'm sure it's happened before.
Oh, wow.
No!
You know, honestly, I don't know why Gregorio was so certain that even Galcian would have, like, that little shred of honor to not attack him in the back while he's busy there talking, telling the heroes to run.
I mean, that seems out of place for Galcian. Like, I don't think he would have done it.
Yeah, I think, like, Galcian, after killing him, you see him later, is like, well, I do regret this.
Man, that's some harsh words.
You know, I think if I were Gregorio, I'd actually try to go for a, okay, let's all run, and I'll kind of play rear guard, just sort of fend off attacks if Galcian catches up, but not engage him head
You
on.
do not want a piece of that fight. You do not want it.
That was a shorter dungeon than I thought.
Good.
Like, in terms of, like, I could have gone straight there. It wasn't... There were just,
yeah.
like, a lot of side rooms you could go into to
Get
really...
some stuff. Just collect some things.
I haven't got much moonberries lately at all.
No, yeah, I've
So I was
noticed
glad to
that.
find one in there, and unfortunately that's my first one, so I can't get any new attacks. I'm gonna have to have at least 2. Whee!
Slips falls forward into the deep sky.
Okay, you'd think in this world, in every location, even remote places where hardly anybody walks, there would be, like, very sturdy railings along every edge.
There's another optional fight with pistol at this point.
Oh yeah, no, she gave me another black mark and was like, I'll be in the exact same location.
As I am always. Also, there's a wanted fight that has appeared for Kuya the Wealthy.
Yeah, that's the rich dude, the rich old man from the Lands of Ice who I find just chilling.
Yeah.
And he, like, flirts with Vice.
Man, I'm not gonna judge.
It's not the gay thing so much as it is that dude's, like, 80 and you're 17.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a little, that's,
And he
now
does-
I'm
and
gonna judge.
And it doesn't sound like a wholesome, romantic feeling here. It's like, I want to take you into a back alley and do things to you.
Yep.
Even if you, say no.
Alright, so next we're heading to, Crescent Island.
Ah, poor Gregorio.
He was alright.
You know, what if you saw, like, I think it would have had, like, even more effect if they had, like, showed the mace snapped in two, or something like that.
You know what? I get some feel, like, I get some kind of, like, vibes from him that are similar to Uncle Iroh from the Avatar series. I don't know if you ever sat through it. But...
I saw like 1 or 2 episodes with you.
Yeah.
I think it was like when it was on Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Well, actually, I probably wasn't watching it when it was. I was watching it from a third-party streaming site on the internet.
And I remember giving you a hard time about it on purpose because in those 1 or 2 episodes I saw, like, kids were suck-facing, and I was like, ew, like, they're children, they're using tongues, they're having sex.
They're having sex.
This is inappropriate for children.
I will say, like, it is more of a children's show, like...
Yeah, that wasn't...
Well, maybe there was themes in there that weren't, but for the most part, it's...
the underground... that we found in the lower space beneath Valua, those giant, like, rabbit vampires.
The space between...
I hate that song. Anyway, you were saying.
The space between... no, I don't know. But yeah, Avatar, really good.
It's just like, I think there were, like, literally, like, 2 different occurrences where, like, and those were kids, and they're just like, oh, come here. I was like, damn, for like a show that's rated TV Y7 or something like that, you know, kids show, that's a little bit uncomfortable. Kind of like, dude, I honestly, there was one time during the time I lived with Mom, she was like, she was like, hey, you're hardly ever in here with me, you know, during your days off, so...
Yeah.
And your sister tells me that the Stranger Things show is really good. So I was like, you know, I'll spend the afternoon with you, check it out. We made it like 4 episodes in, but I tell you, one of the most uncomfortable things ever. First of all, it's like uncomfortable by itself.
Right.
And I'm being serious about this. I'm like saying it in a joking way, but it was still seriously. But this is the kind of thing you don't want to see with family, much like movie sex scenes, you know? It was PG-13, so of course we're not like really showing nudity or anything like that, but it was like they're getting as close as possible. They're definitely getting the point across. The first 2 episodes, the B-plot, it was totally pointless for one thing. It was always set up so that at the end of the 2nd episode, for one of the main character's friends to also get kidnapped. Like it started out like I said, I was only like 4 episodes in, and I think the show has like 3-4 seasons, something like that. So it went on for past this, but it started out with a whole bunch of like seeming random alien-like abductions, like X-Files style, with a lot of side characters and stuff.
That smile.
So, but the whole B-plot, it actually went back to this several times. They made way too big of a deal about it. Was about the 16, 17-year-old girl, one of the main characters, Nancy, like, with this dude she liked, and she's like, man, is it time for us to have sex? Am I really ready to, you know, go past that point, you know, being a high school girl and underage and everything? It's like, like, so much focus was about this girl's, like, you know, first time gonna do it. It was so centered around it. It was also that it could set up to have her at like a party or something at the end of the 2nd episode where she finally got laid. Nobody cares, and they were showing like, kind of like, you know, not nudity, like not, you know, the naughty bits, but you're seeing like kind of like the motions and, you know, with well-placed camera shots, so that's not totally graphic. I'm like, I am like in my 30s, and I'm sitting here watching this show where so much focus is about this girl finally getting laid, who is underage. And again, it was all set up so that at the end of the 2nd episode, while she was getting laid at this party, it was so that she'd end up leaving one of her friends alone, like outside, and nobody else was around, so that she could get kidnapped. And then I guess feel guilty about, like, you know, I was off, like, so important about, you know, finally screwing this dude I liked. We're feeling each other out, like, you know, do we like each other enough for sex and so. I was like, I didn't want to see that by myself, much less with family. That's just gross. I don't know how any other way to say it. It's like with The Notebook. It's already a horrible movie, regardless. That is like when it comes to like sentiments on love and romance and stuff. That is one of it maddens me. I hate the sentiments of that movie. That glorifies cheating, just straight up cheating. That's what it was.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't
absolutely.
a love story. It was a story much like with Twilight. As what you said, it was about two people who wanted to fuck. That's what it's about. Not a love story. Shut up. But yeah, I'm like, I had no idea what that movie was about. So to be sociable, since this is at Christmas time and stuff, family, their tradition, the ladies in the family, let's go see a movie at Hamilton Place. And of course, I'm
they took you to see.
They're like,
The Notebook.
You want to me and Haley. Well, Haley had to go along. She was so young, she couldn't she couldn't choose to do her own thing.
Right.
I really felt sorry for her. But I was definitely grown enough to not. I was like, they didn't tell me what it was about, really. So I was just like, yeah, just acting like I'm spending time with family. Oh, I like that. But especially during even though it's PG-13, I think that's actually pretty graphic for a PG-13 sex scene. You definitely don't want to see that with family. Oh, just no.
Come on, go.
Serena, no.
Continue the story. Tell me. I like the part where you're talking about seeing people coming out of the movie theater with like.
Oh my gosh! I left maybe 5 minutes after the sex scene. Oh, these two people so in love, been secret, never lost their love throughout the 10 years they spent apart or something after they were forced apart by their evil parents. That kind of thing. And so on the second day they see each other again after all this time, and she's engaged
to another dude
who wasn't a dick or anything, as far as I could tell.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
And I've only ever seen it once.
And I might have missed something.
Maybe he was a dick.
I was out for almost the entire third act. I deliberately left the theater. I was so disgusted. And at the end of that sex scene, it's she's laying there. She's like, oh, again. I was like, not a love story. It's a story about two people who want to fuck and don't care who they hurt in the process.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I left very shortly after that, pretending to be sick off of the Sbarro pizza we ate in the food court before it was movie time.
Yeah.
Which, that was believable because it's Sbarro. And that's when outside of the theater, I called you to
tell me
to bitch about this. And dude, seriously, while I was on the phone with you, I was like, it's about that time.
People start letting out.
Yeah. So I was in the aisle as you're coming in, not in the middle of the theater aisle with all the seats, but
exit.
Aisle, yeah. And I was watching it from there to where I could quickly, run out ahead of everybody else. And what were we supposed to do at Crescent Island? Because I came to the meeting room. Isn't that usually where?
Let me see.
Maybe I talked to the guy that goes bam, or one of those two dudes to have him hit these schematics.
Have a word with Brabham at the port in order to trigger some scenes.
At the port. Okay.
Afterwards, if you have completed your discovery log, speak with Domingo in the meeting room for a special prize. We haven't done that.
Oh, that's where he'll join you if I think that was the dude that said I'll join you if you make 40 discoveries or something.
Before leaving, give Ryukon the 4,000 gold needed for him to upgrade his stock. Your next destination is the Maelstrom in the lower sky, just southeast of Shrine Island.
I came across that too. I said this looks scary. I don't want to go in there. Have I helped you upgraded? Oh, he said return later. Okay, how later?
I don't know.
Wind Slicer equipped. I guess I'll give that to Enrique. But yeah. So I called you after the ending let out. It wasn't when I stepped out the first time and hung around for 20-30 minutes and then went back to like the exit to watch safely from there, thinking, okay, it's about over. Then I called you. After that, I was like, dude, you will not believe what I just had to watch.
And the funny thing is, I had already seen it when you called me.
No, you didn't.
Did I not?
Yeah, you saw it afterwards.
Oh.
With Teresa, right?
Oh, God, you just brought back some memories.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Oof.
No.
All right, I'm gonna just compartmentalize.
Say that for later.
Yeah,
like when I'm done. Okay.
We'll unpack that later.
And I'm like, dude, while I was ranting about it to you, because the movie was letting out, I was in the hall and I was watching. I kid you not. While I was talking to you, I was watching half of every woman that came out with a dude, her husband or boyfriend, whatever, was dabbing tears from her eyes, and the husband, you know, her guy is like, you know, patting her on the arm, like, it's okay, baby, it's just a movie. That is not a love story you cry over.
Nope.
It is not. It wasn't until recently, very recently, and I made you watch this review too, of that movie called Kissing Booth.
You wouldn't do that to me.
Of that movie called Kissing Booth. That is the only one I think that is a contender that for actually having worse sentiments, more offensive sentiments to me when it comes to love and marriage and romance and all that in general than The Notebook. But up until that time, and this was what, 15 years ago when I first saw The Notebook in theaters? I know it was early on in college, somewhere around that time. So in 15 years, it remained uncontested for worst sentiments when it comes to love in a movie or any work of fiction ever. That I was literally offended by that movie. I know I'm making it sound like that's the kind of terminology like an angry reviewer will make on the internet. I am not.
I get you.
I'm not joking.
I get you.
No hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
No hyperbole. Nothing. I am literally offended by that movie.
You know what? It would be so much better for me if she left her fiance before fucking that guy. That would change so much. I mean, it would still be bad.
It would still be a lame ass movie.
Yeah, it would still be a lame ass movie. But the fact that she wouldn't leave her fiance before just jumping vagina first on this dude.
And on top of that, I mean, it's not even like it's just her. The dude is just as horrible.
Oh, yeah.
You remember how their romance started out? This whirlwind high school lovey-dovey? It started with him threatening to jump off the Ferris wheel when they're high up from her seat, where he was clutching to the railing saying, if you don't go out with me, I'll commit suicide.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking stupid. Like, that's not okay.
That's like, I think I read an article once that was criticizing me. I think there's actually like a law against that kind of thing, like that's emotional manipulation
or entrapment or something. Is it like emotional entrapment? I don't know.
So, and then it was like you saw like that dude in his quote unquote grief, I guess, being away from her for so long, turned to banking widows from the recent war. Before he met back up with main character chick, Allie. Yeah, so upset, so longing and pining for her. She was the only one. He just banged a bunch of women who had just recently been bereaved of a husband.
That's pretty garbage. That's a shit thing to do. That's low-hanging fruit. You should be better than that.
I've also heard, like from a lot of different sources, the two actors playing Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams, that was her name, that played Allie. The two main characters, the love couple we're supposed to be cheering for God knows what reason. And unfortunately, a lot of people are, as per what I saw, the women coming out of the theater. they actually did not get along at all on set. Like, they were actually, like, really tired of each other. I'm like, how do you even act out, like, a sex scene with a person you don't even like being
That
around?
is called doing your job. That is a profession.
I guess I could say this. It was convincing. I gotta give Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams props for that.
I mean, you gotta be able to act even if you don't feel the way your character
Not
feels.
feeling it.
You know? Doesn't matter if you're not feeling it. Your job is to act, and they did. By the way, let's flip the script a bit. Instead of talking about a garbage, thing to shove into your eyeballs and ear holes.
Oh wait, one last thing. Remember also when one of the couples walking out of the theater who heard me say, like, talking about this on the phone to you, like making fun of the women coming out actually crying, one of them noticed me and, like, they were like and I actually heard, like, the husband, like, it's okay, baby, just ignore him. You know. I'm like, no, I am right. This is not merely an opinion. I am in the right here. This movie is evil. It is tainted. And I will not back off of... Anyway, go ahead.
But another season of the Castlevania series has been up on the old Netflix. I don't know if you, or even if you knew about this.
Yeah, I knew it was it an animated show?
Yeah, it's animated. And a new season's out. I haven't finished it yet, but I've been watching it. It's pretty good. Pretty good. It's nice seeing, American anime, right? Doing well.
I got a lot of money, so I'm just gonna see what he does with this island. Oh, wait, he said he already did that. I thought I could, like, keep upgrading if there were... Okay, so now we'll go with the bar.
Yes, please. I mean, you're with a bunch of pirates. Of course you need an upgraded tavern. You kidding me?
Oh, hey, there's Mogi.
Open your eyes!
Did Enrique not tell you that he technically just lost, like, his god uncle? Or something like that?
He doesn't seem too beat up about it.
Maybe he, like, faked a smile as soon as he saw me come here. Well, it's not like he was breaking down and telling Mogi if she doesn't know. We found
Well, I
him.
mean, he doesn't have to break down because she can't see his facial expressions anyways, because you want to open her eyes. You can hear facial expressions?
I mean, you can hear the other aspects of breaking down. It's not just making a facial expression. I'm pretty sure your voice will change and sound a lot more like... Yeah. Like that. That sounded like very sardonic towards people who, like, actually have had...
It was meant to sound very mocking, yes.
Which is really mean, dude. Gotta say.
It wasn't aimed at anybody specifically, but it was intended to sound very mocking.
Okay, so I think what we will do is go ahead and do Deep Sky and we'll call it a night on that.
Sounds good.
Oh, wait.
Did you want to cut the
I should
video,
I should
or?
probably ask him if he's finished. Well, is he finished or not?
I mean, shouldn't he be right here? Oh, well, I mean, there he is. Ba-bam!
Did I actually need to talk to you first? I mean, a night passed.
I mean,
since
considering there's a cutscene. You just need Naruto run.
Yeah, he did. So anyway, you were going to talk about Teresa, I believe?
Oh. No, I wasn't really intending to go on anything about that. It's just that, like, I wasn't there to, pat her on the arm and tell her, yeah, it's fine. It's just a movie. This is a nah.
In fact, I thought, like, this was only, like, a little bit later, within a few months after I saw The Notebook in theaters, that, like, you started going out with Teresa while we were in Parkway.
Yep.
And at some point, like, she came over a lot. At some point, y'all rented it because it was out in the video store by then. And you were like, Teresa wants to see this, dude.
Yes.
Help
You
me.
told me that was going on. Just, you know, make up an excuse so that I can get out of this. Nope. Had to go back to your room in the back and watch it together. On tape.
On tape. Back when... That's really showing our age, by the way. The fact that we rented tapes.
I remember during one of my... It was like once every few weekends or so, I was like, you know what? Being in college, this was an actual luxury you could only indulge in every now and again. Just spending like $5, $6, $7 on a movie rental.
Go grab something out of the bargain bin.
I had a few excursions myself, and one of those, you were like, oh, hey, look, I see you bought something, you know, to take a break from your schoolwork. It was like something I just recently rented. It was like, oh, wow. It was Sapphire Girls. Because, like, on front, like, with the title, that's not necessarily, like, oh, you know, obviously, like, you know, oh, okay, it's going to be a Skinamax flick of some sort. No, but the picture on front said it all. It's like, you know, like a wet woman, you know. You see, like, just, like, the bottom of the picture, like, it's cuts off right before her, you know, chest. She's clearly nude, or at least off the shoulder, and she's all wet, and her face is just all, like, up in, you know, the
like,
camera's all up in it, and she's like, you know.
She O-facing.
Yeah. Or, like, doing a strip show or something. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just leave you alone with that. And I was still studying right there, you know. I was like, I had to save that pleasure for later.
Yes.
It was also during that time we found, and it was out of the bargain bin too. It was a really good one, 187. $5.
One of Samuel L. Jackson's best roles. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot believe that movie didn't do better.
It was like one that's not well known. I don't even think it got a theatrical release, and it was like even the few people that saw it, for the most part, reviews I'd say were ho hum overall.
That was a good movie.
If not more negative than positive. And I think it was a really good movie.
Yep, absolutely.
Especially, that's one of the best endings to any movie ever. There is not a single moment of the last 5 minutes or so that I didn't believe every single word that was coming out of every actor's presence mouth.
Oh, so you're the victim now? Let me take your turn. No!
In fact, I got that on a YouTube video. It's like in my just random badass scenes before death, whether it's the hero, the villain, or everybody dies or something. Like, just scenes that were really badass right before that happened. So naturally, 187 made it there. It's awesome.
Oh, now you... He's like, it's all I got! And you're like, this dude's losing his shit.
And Samuel L. Jackson all calm. Oh, so now you're the victim. Let me take a turn for you. Puts a gun to his head, shoots himself. I'm like, wow.
And I like how much it fucked him up. He's like, alright, I have got... If I can beat, you know, a 5 and 6 odds, then...
1 in 6.
Yeah, sorry. 1 in 6 odds. Then, you know, I will have redeemed the fact that he had taken my turn. And his friends were like, what are you doing?
Cesar, no! Dead body over the table. Dead body before that. Out of the chair and on the ground.
In this instance, like, when there's, like, no, like, this is a shitty ending, right? Like, not a bad ending, but, like, bad things are happening. Like, this is not a good ending. This is bad, right?
Right.
Like, it was cool to see that Cesar's friends, you know, like, when he was, like, before they ran, he's like, you know, what is it all for? And he broke down and all that stuff.
Yeah,
to
you
see
know,
him
they weren't
at the-
acting all tough guy and gangster anymore.
But
actually broke them.
in the epilogue, to see him, like, walking down, grabbing his diploma, like, that, you know, it's just, like, it's such a, like, a small silver lining, but,
Yeah.
you know, he got his life straight, and you're like,
Or at least it's heavily implied that he's working on it.
yeah.
At least. Yeah, that's just a good movie. Great ending.
Yeah. Let me take your turn. No!
This is an Discovery? What? No, that was the.
Yeah, you've already seen that. Yep.
Well, here we go.
Could we not?
Okay, I'm sorry. Do I have to really be in a specific?
Yeah, seemingly.
Okay.
Hey, Vice, aren't you glad we came here? What? I can't hear you over the impending doom.
Yeah, with good reason. This is like as scary as the Dark Rift. I mean, I think it was like after this, Enrique's like, I'm gonna go back to Lula. And I think you get one last chance if you just went for like the final dungeon of the game.
Yeah.
I think I took Gilbert with me last time simply because I hadn't used him in a while. But it was unfortunately like during that playthrough, I never got enough moonberries to get anything past his first super move, and the first super move, especially by the end of the game,
It's just garbage.
because it's not meant for like a secret target. So especially considered as the first in his arsenal, you can imagine how little damage that does in comparison to what you can do with something like Cutlass Fury, or
Jeez, man.
All right. So we just keep it lowering down. And like, I think it eventually gets calm past this vortex or something.
Ooh. Wow. Yeah, that seems calmer. More calm.
And so this is what used to be
The surface of the planet.
Yeah. By any chance, is this like actual series? Maybe like there was a prequel before this game?
There's
Or
not
all
a
this
prequel before this game.
that maybe never came out of Japan?
Nope.
Nothing that tells you about like how it came to be like this.
Would be cool though.
Oh god, no, I forgot. You have no idea. At least I don't think. Oh, Moonstar, Sonar. But you have to dig in every one of these squares, and if it's not, it might. A couple of them might be a random treasure or something like that. But unless it's that, or what we came here for,
Random encounter.
random encounter.
You want me to see if it's just not in a specific area?
Yeah,
every time?
I would love it if you found that out.
Oh, yep, I know right where it is. It is this right at the tip of my finger.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Any treasure in any of them?
S. What is S? Starting position. There is apparently Valorium here above my finger. Not under my finger, but above my finger. And Valorium like one more above that, all the way over. Like, I mean, you can see kind of in this diagram.
Yeah, I think I'm getting it.
That is a lot of encounters to have to deal with.
Oh, and if you screw it up, well, I guess if you can use this sonar to find out, but if it's a question mark, you're not going to know for sure whether it's a monster or a treasure, right?
I guess so.
But Enrique also said you can only use it 2 times before you have to go up above and recharge.
So one space up is this one treasure, the Valorium, right here.
Would
You're
say
on.
press
I don't
B?
remember. You gotta be right on top of it.
I like how you, I mean, in the random encounters, like, you pull out a monster that was
Okay.
living in the dirt.
Now, go all the way to the east side,
And then one up.
and then, yeah, one up. And that is another piece. Now,
Glorium.
you want to go pretty much all the way down. And right one more down. Yep. And that's where...
And then Deloco attacks.
That is Fina's ship. That probably just saved us
Like
so
an
much
hour.
time. So much time.
I don't know why, I like the lighting here on Ika's face. She looks a lot older in this light. And sexier.
I mean, she's underaged.
Oh my gosh, dude, did I tell you about this? It's just one of those things, we're not even talking about, like, banging. But it's just something just so gross about it and just shocks you. Happy face? There was one time, I got to know, like, the ladies at this particular massage place in Houston, right?
Yeah.
And so while she's there, like, working on my back and everything, she's the only one there, so she had to answer the phone when, you know, it came up. Like,
Yeah.
I knew the ladies by name and everything, and, like, they know me by name and all that stuff, you know, we're comfortable with each other. This was obviously a new-time guy. I could hear him over the phone. He was asking, and, dude, he sounded older than me. He sounded older.
Okay.
He sounded at least 40.
Okay.
And this was when I was maybe 30. And I wouldn't ask for this. This is just so... Ugh. He goes, because, you know, Houston, a lot of places are...
Yeah, I get you.
I guess he figured, you know, might as well take my chances and ask. And keep in mind, this dude sounds like a 40s perverted businessman. He goes, I hear him clearly over the phone. Do you have any, like, 18-year-olds there? Like, working? It wasn't just, I'm specifically asking for a young girl to, you know, do the work on me, and I guess, you know, hoping gets a little something more out of the bargain, along with the professional service. He goes, it was the fact they specifically had to be at that boundary.
Right. Just
18,
legal.
Just legal. And I went, that floored me. Like, I heard him clearly, dude. There was no mistaking this. I was like, oh my god. I said that out loud. Like, and Olive, like, you know, taps me on the head, like, shh. and she, you know, she's like, and I hear her go to the dude, you know, like, in response to this, no, we don't hire 18-year-old girls here. I mean, if you want 18, go to high school. Like, she trashed this dude.
Good.
And Olive was maybe in her late 20s, I guess. I mean, of course, I never asked her age. Like, I specifically want a girl
Of this age.
in her 20s, a little bit younger than me. But it's like, even if I'd asked for that, that wouldn't be near as creepy as asking specifically for 18.
Yeah.
And I would have felt kind of like
it's like if there wasn't a legal age of consent, he would have absolutely
he would have gone lower, you know.
Piece of garbage.
That like, as soon as I heard it, I was like from, you know,
Oh my god.
because I'm laying on my belly, like, and you know, you have to, there's like a hole towards the front where your head should be, because while you're laying face down, you don't want to smother yourself.
Correct.
So you could hear my voice clearly there. I was like, oh my god. And I was like, you know, on my, like, tapping me on the head. And I hear her go, she's like, if you want 18, go to high school. Like, that's how you, without being like nasty about it, like, you know, real sardonic and sarcastic, like, that's a good way to let them know you think they're a nasty pervert. Like, that's just the perfect way to
say, if you want that, why don't you just, you know, give into your nature and start, you know, creeping to high school.
And I somehow don't remember the conversation after that. I don't remember like the dude pitching a fit like, you know, how dare you insult me like that. That's clearly an insult. And a very,
Oh yeah,
a very,
subtle one. Like
very subtly and well played one.
Yeah, well done.
But yeah, when she got on the phone, I was just like, wow.
Wow.
I was like, and you know, in her best English, like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you get that kind of guy every now. I didn't think it back up.
I just think it's amazing that he had the audacity to just be so open about it, right? Like he
Yeah.
thought it was normal.
Yeah, the 18-year-olds, and he like asked it in a way like at least twice. It wasn't like necessarily that one line. It was like he's clearly wanting to go for, yeah. Double on your spare.
Oh,
Let's get all-
there's a help button? When there's a help button?
I just happened to think, you know, okay, surely De Loco is not strong enough to take on the because I mean, the deluxe kit or whatever it is that restores your full HP that costs like $300 or something.
Yeah.
You can like make that in one battle, so they come pretty easily.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
That's not even a team format.
Nope. I think it was funny because last time we were talking about using crew members, like, what do they do?
Yeah.
Okay. The fact that you can just hit a button and be like, oh, this is exactly like doubling your spirit intake? That's pretty good. Okay, that hurt.
That was good.
That hurt a little bit.
Hey, I want De Loco not to be a wuss here. I don't know if I want him to be that strong, where he can do that like in return.
That would be rough.
Because like even then, even if you had all the deluxe kits you could want, I mean, if you used them every single turn to be sure,
You
then
would
you never
never-
get a chance to
yeah.
attack. So it's kind of what might make this battle a little bit dodgy, possibly challenging. It'll be impossible to see it from the which was until it gets close to us. I don't know when that is.
I don't either.
Because like
I didn't even notice that they blacked out everything
Yeah.
up here. Like, I guess that's a cool mechanic. That seems thematic to where you are. That's cool.
I'm just gonna launch a torpedo just for the crap of it.
Oh, there's no way a torpedo's gonna make it. It's gonna
Yeah.
lose target every time.
Complete
It
kit,
has
not
to.
deluxe one.
No.
I mean, I'm not gonna know when it, because at random you just see ships flying around. So I'm not gonna know in this case when it shows them like flying close to me. Is that when I was
don't know.
supposed to make the move? Because I've already specified what I want to do on that turn. Well, he missed me at least.
I assume in turn.
Ah!
Hey, Mazel Tov.
He doesn't have that much HP here. Doesn't seem.
So
That's maybe-
he's basically built as a glass cannon. Dish out damage. Not be able to sustain very well.
Judging by how much we saw off that bar was set down, I'd say he has about the same HP. With the added bonus that he can't heal himself. Dude,
Yeah.
the ships can heal themselves.
Oh, these would take forever.
You
These would do.
probably couldn't even get through this game.
So how do you know when you can moon cannon?
I guess when it becomes available.
Yeah, but it's never going to become available. It's all blacked out.
I think that's just telling you you don't know what's going to be able to happen in turn. Not that everything, because obviously I can do, you know, regular weapons anyway. Let's try some magic. 'Cause again, I have no idea visually how I'm supposed to know when he's like, close, when I'm supposed to be able to strike. What's reoccurring? Protection. Just set that aside. For now. Keep that in the back of our minds.
Much. That'd be like if the other dude's like doubles your spirit points, or increases your spirit points instead. It doesn't affect.
I mean, I can at least see him in the screen, so maybe I'm close. Let's try it.
Miss. Yeah, I will say about this game, like they don't convey very well, like in the battle where your ships are actually supposed to, like, are actually considered by the game's logic.
Well, that was fun.
Yes, it was. Good job.
Thanks. Well, he sure got a. He's building up for something. Protect your ship. Oh, it only costs 10. And
For a
I
full
take that to
turn?
mean that at least certain kinds of attacks, and not all enemy attacks, you will not take damage. Just some kind of divine shield that covers your whole ship. It's
Nice.
completely invincible. Well, I mean, we gotta start trying to dish out some damage sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, the game's not going to tell us. Watch, I'm not even attack this turn now.
Well, I mean, I didn't
Oh, gotcha.
attack and defense upgrade. Okay, it looks like we're pulling it close, so maybe it's like towards the end of the turn, like in the last two.
I'm at the point where I can't. I'm going to assume you can determine just from looking at the screen. Like, it has no relevance whatsoever to your actual positions. Good. Gracious.
I got it. It didn't look like it took off his whole mark. Wow, that was like 30,000 HP. What a... You know what? You just had to know when to attack, I guess.
Or was that Ryukon's, like, damage output?
It must have been.
With this old-timey cartoon sound effects?
Yeah. Soldier, you're about to die. Like a horrible buried in the old fallen earth death.
Yeah, like, this is not...
Your tomb will be there for all eternity. What do you care about your asshole of a captain? Oh wait, no, I think this is Deloco. He's come back for a second round. Yeah, I knew it couldn't be that easy.
I was about to say, because...
But I could swear that he does that animation, like, no, this can't be happening right before he died. The shit, you know.
Uh-oh. See, how do you like it, Vise? This is what you've been doing to people.
You know, when you think about it that way. Okay, well, if we remain attached, though, doesn't that mean I can just hit you more? Because you're not going to be able to pull that far from me.
We weren't trying to get away from you. We were trying to close in.
Restart our spirit.
That's stupid.
Okay, now just in case, I'm pretty sure all of his... He's probably going to attack like almost every turn. It's going to hit pretty close. I think he can do that. Just be sure. And... I assume maybe he's got like about the same amount of HP as before. Except it's probably going to actually go quicker because...
What is an evasion gonna do when you're tied to us?
Well, no. See, what's happening? I think like I actually tried to BS an explanation for that before.
What does that mean?
Silence. Just
Oh,
use
we
my
weren't
regular
doing
cannon.
spells, yeah.
Although it does mean I can't use cannon. I don't have to use the items to heal. But I got like 18 of those.
Meh. Chump change. Hark!
Is this...
Clothesline by 2 ships.
Alright, what's nice that silence doesn't take out your ability to use your
I mean, that's not magic.
I know, but I can see, like, rationalize it to where, well, any kind of special movements stuff.
On. Wow, that is black. Pitch black.
Okay, I really don't want to be in front of you when trying to shoot you with a cannon. Yeah, pull it beside me, thank you.
Again, I don't think that is any indication.
In terms of like how much damage we've been doing, I'd say in just about every ship battle, the enemy has won by a long shot.
Yeah?
It just so happens I can heal my ship. Alright, let's try to get him soon. Maybe there is a way we can accuracy. Atlantis, I think, for some reason.
Maurice. Dead.
Huh?
That said, hey, Maurice. You dead?
Get geared up again. Go all out for the next turn. I'm gonna assume by this point Moonstone can't just have a good question.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming as well. Kind of dumb, but I mean, I get it.
Oh yeah, I forgot I was silenced.
Gotta say though, pretty interesting Hail Mary.
Interesting.
Hail Mary. Loaded. Like a kind of going all out.
It's a paladin.
Play it again.
Boy, it'd be great if there was something I knew to do that, like, helps my accuracy. None of this does. Rambo.
Wow. Definitely having a little bit more problems getting some damage on it.
Yeah, and it's like, he's staying close to me.
It should be easier.
Good. Yeah, there we go.
Wow. Okay. I guess just shut my mouth.
At least you know what that is before you put it in your mouth.
No, it's
Albemarle, dude.
it's pasta sauce.
Fine on the ground somewhere. Oh, that's not what I thought, sorry. Just what I thought.
No, this is sulfuric
And you
acid.
did it in front of. Why did you do that? In case all these miss, I'm gonna heal it at the end of this turn.
course you did.
We're on pretty much the last hit. He's down.
What's that? You died? Nice.
And he just plummets into the abyss. Oh my gosh, he's burning alive too!
But they're using
Wow.
cartoon. They're using cartoon sound effects, so it's funny.
Dude, that's... Okay, I know DeLoco is a real douche,
Yeah.
but I feel bad about that. And Ika's just like, looks like that's the end of Bubblehead. Just kind of makes it sound jovial. Well, we murdered yet a whole nother, you know, ship full of crewmen, so...
Sriracha flavored pea.
No, thank you.
Ah, oh, hi.
Okay, where is... I guess maybe I need to go back to the starting point. Oh, this'll do. I wonder what that towering tablet there in the distance is about.
Right? You know, though, this game getting a prequel would be a pretty cool game. You know?
At least seems like it'd be. Means Xenogears got 3 prequel games. They were all pretty good.
Supposed to be 4.
Yep. Oh, that's something I bought with my tax money, was that a copy of that Xenogears Perfect Works, where it kind of like explained everything.
Huh.
With lots of colorful pictures and backstories and everything, and unfortunately, I should have known it wasn't going to be an English translation. But, well, the physical copy, I can't read it, even though it was highly expensive. Should have, if I'd known what was coming, you know, in the next few months, I would have saved that. But I did find a English translation online, so it saved as a bunch of images, and I could read through them.
Cool.
And if sometime later it becomes even more valuable on Amazon or eBay, I can...
Flip that shit.
What was down there? Oh, that was... yeah.
By the way, I was talking to Myocon not too long ago. He's playing through Xenogears for the first time.
You like it?
Yeah.
God, it's hard to believe. A PlayStation game, PS1, blew us away with graphics and everything at the...
I still think Xenogears looks good.
That was 22 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think no matter what, after a certain point in the game, Black Mirror comes back for you, that you're gonna
Freaking
have to find
Edward Teach.
It's the ship that everyone's talking about. Yeah, your ship is more powerful than before, but I fought you, like, at the beginning of the game, so you're still gonna be no match for me.
Also, you could just dive, and he couldn't follow you.
Yeah, pretty much. But, I mean, Vice is like, I've already had a taste of blood earlier today, so, you know, why quench it now?
I've already had a taste of blood. Dried, crispy blood. Wow, they don't even give you an opportunity to, like, use your captain stripes?
Oh, well, I could have used it while I was flying over the map, but whatever. It's not like I'm gonna lose. If I do, I suck. That's all there is to it.
Well, let's not put a challenge on it and just suck as it is. just give you that one.
In fact, I think I actually calculated one time. I did like, I killed him with like one moonstone cannon attack. It did like 20 foul from full health, and it got me. Like that's how little his HP.
So you can one-shot him with a moonstone. Wow.
I mean, that's what I remember doing during one of my previous playthroughs. Those were years and years ago. But yeah, like I was saying about Xenogears, it's just amazing to think that game is actually 22, or it was either 98 or 99, a little bit before Final Fantasy VIII.
I mean, yeah, that's like, that's how much DeLoco's like tiny.
Yeah, go ahead, have a chew. I love saying that. I can take a shot.
Oh, good gracious! You're gonna get 2 moonstone cannons.
Yeah,
this turn?
depending on what choice I make, and I have no idea as usual what it's supposed to be. So you know what? Screw it.
Well, now you're gonna get it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I always got the whenever it's like, yeah, have a chew. Like, just let the bad guy take your weakling shot. Just get off my nose. I was wondering if you ever realized where I got that from.
I don't.
Christmas Story.
Oh.
Like that one point where like the dad's so excited he won that. Well, he didn't know it was gonna be the leg lamp. He's like, I won an award. It's like he's coming through the door, you know, all excited with the telegram in his hand. He's like, I won! And he'd encountered the dogs before, so he's like, yeah, he sticks his leg back up the door, and the hounds are always, you know, accosting him every time he gets out of his car on the way to his house. He's like, yeah, go on, have a chew, fellas, it's on me. And then slams the door on one of their ears.
Yours!
Well, that was easy.
That was easy. You were correct.
Because your ship was clearly inferior. I didn't actually have to try. This was not like a matter of skill or anything. We just murdered like a whole ship full of people just a few hours ago. Like, they burned alive while falling into the abyss.
With no chance of rescue.
Okay, well, we're gonna use that Captain Stripe and save and call it a day.
Sounds good. Made good progress.
Captain Stripe. I think it's here. Oh, yeah, we got two.
Of them. Nice.
Okay, guys. Yep, we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
Hey! Sounds good.
Sounds good.